This presentation is going to explain the California State University admissions transfer application. There's a single application for all 23 CSU campuses. You just go to counseling.missioncollege.edu/apply. When to apply? For fall admissions, the deadline to apply is between October 1st to December 4th. However, traditionally, it has always been the deadline up to November 30th. However, this time around, it is from October 1st to December 4th. For winter admissions, it's June 1st to June 30th. For spring admissions, August 1st to August 31st. The application fee is $70 per campus. However, there is a fee waiver, and the fees can be waived for up to 4 campuses. Are you eligible for transfer? There is minimum eligibility. You need to have at least 60 CSU transferable units, 2.0 transferable GPA, 30 units of general education with a C or better must be completed. You also have to do the Golden 4, which is the written communication, oral communication, critical thinking, and transferable math. However, being eligible is not the same as being competitive. You will need to complete lower division major preparation and general education. Your GPA might be also higher, especially for those majors that are impacted and competitive. To complete the application, you will need unofficial transcripts from every college and university you have attended. You will need test scores if you took any AP, IB, or TOEFL test. Your social security number if you have one. Your citizenship status. For undocumented and DACA students, you will select none. A method of payment. You will not need it if you're eligible for a fee waiver. It'll waive your fees up to 4 campuses. EOP applicants. You will need your parents' employment background and 2 recommendations. Application expectations. The application does take time, so don't wait until the last minute to begin the application. Don't expect to complete the application in one sitting. You can save it and you can return back to it at a later time to complete it. If you have questions as you complete the application, please know that you can come see a counselor or the Transfer Center staff to help you with the application. The CSU also has a help center. They have a live chat feature in the application. You can contact by calling them, or you could also send them an email. You will need to provide the CAS ID number, which is located under your name in the upper right-hand corner of the application. When you contact Cal State Apply, either the help center via phone or email, they will be asking you to reference to that CAS ID number. So make sure you have it with you when you contact them. On every page, you will also see in the application footer the links to different ways of getting in contact and getting help. The application workflow. You will go to, again, calstate.edu/apply to get started. You will then select the link to apply. You will then launch the application. You will create an account. When you create an account, you will get an email letting you know that an account has been created. You will then start answering questions about you, personal information. You will then add programs and campuses that you're interested in applying to. You will complete the rest of the CSU application. If you're interested in the EOP, you will be basically completing those portions of the application as well. So the EOP questions will appear for you. If the campus and programs you're applying to are requiring you to submit additional documents or specific questions for you that are required to complete, you will do that in the application. You will then pay for the applications. If you have a fee waiver will be waived up to 4 campuses. You will then submit the application, and once you do that, you will get an email letting you know that the application has been submitted. To begin, again, go to calstate.edu/apply. You will start by selecting the term in the drop-down menu to get started. You will then have to create an account if you haven't done one already. Once you have an account, you will simply sign in. But for the first time, you'll need to create an account. You will be asked to complete an extended profile. Make sure that you complete the extended profile correctly. The answers determine the question blocks that will appear in the application and what programs are available for you to choose. So make sure you answer the questions carefully. There are questions, if you notice, 4 of them. One is asking if you are returning to the CSU campus, if you have previously attended, and if you intend to complete the same degree. That will be a yes or no. That application is treated very differently than from our traditional transfer student. There's a question about U.S. military status. If you didn't serve, you will just say no, but if you did, you will select the appropriate one for you. There is a question about residency related to having an F1 student visa or a J1 visa for exchange students at the time that you're going to study at the CSU. So you would say yes or no as it applies. Question number 1 goes to degree goal. What degree, credential, certificate you're applying for, if this is your first bachelor's degree or your second bachelor's degree. Again, depending on what you choose will determine what the application programs will be available for you. When it comes to degree goal, for the first bachelor's degree, you have, for our transfer students, it will basically be transfer with an associate's degree, ADT, either an AST or AAT. And then if you do have an ADT, it'll ask you from where and then the name of the program that you're going to be receiving. You can include a second ADT in this form. If you have one, you would basically add your second ADT. If you don't have an ADT, you're just transferring from community college, you will basically state that there. It will then prompt you to answer questions about the units you will have at the time of transfer. So it's either less than 60 transferable units or 60 semester CSU units or greater than 60. Then you will have to select your programs. You will start by typing either the major or campus that you want to choose. You can also use the little filter to help you narrow down your search. Once you find the programs you want, you will then use the plus sign to add the program. Programs have to be an undergraduate program. You can only apply to one program per campus. Again, the fees are up to $70 per campus, so you will see the total fees on the top left corner. Once you are done, you will click on Done and you can review your selections. If you are selecting a program different than your ADT, you will get a warning. It will say dissimilar program chosen. This program you have selected is not considered similar to your ADT. So if you are pursuing or getting an ADT from Mission College, but you're applying for a different major at the university, then you will get this alert. And if you do, it's just letting you know that your entrance will be evaluated outside the ADT criteria. As you know, there are some benefits having an ADT completed. It means that at the time when you transfer, you will only have to do 60 units at the campus to get your degree, and you are guaranteed into one CSU campus. So if your program is not the same program you're getting your ADT from, then you no longer meet that criteria. And I just want to make sure that you understand that the program you selected is not the same as your ADT. To review your program selection, make sure that the campus and programs you listed is accurate. You can only apply to one program per campus unless there's an alternate major option. So if there is, you'll be able to select your alternate major. Once you're done confirming, you can just continue with your application, or you could always go back and add more programs if you need to. The application dashboard, you will see there are 4 quadrants. You'll talk about your personal information. You'll also go into academic history, supporting information, and program materials. For the personal information, a lot of it is information about you. I'm going to be focusing on citizenship and residency information. For the U.S. citizenship, you will select what best describes you. For our DACA undocumented students and some AB 540 students, you will be selecting none under the U.S. citizenship question. For the residency question, answer all residency questions according to where you have lived or resided. It's not your legal status. If California is your permanent home state, then select California under residency. Indicate when your current stay in California began. Once you do that, you can then click Save and Continue. For international students, for those who selected yes earlier to the do you have or will require an F1 or J1 visa to study at the CSU, you will then be able to put in your country of citizenship and then which visa applies to you, and you're going to put in the date that it was issued. Now you're going to go into the academic history. It's going to ask you to provide information about high school, colleges, coursework, general education, and some standardized tests. So we'll start with high school. You'll have to put in the high school you attended. You can start by putting the city, the state, or the zip code. Then you will see options for you to choose from, and you will select the high school that you attended. For international students, you can put in the country that you attended high school at. You will then be able to see the high school when you put in the information of the country and city. If you don't see it, you'll be able to enter it manually if you don't see your high school on the list. Your graduation status, you will have to select whether you have or will have a high school diploma. And if you do, you will put the high school where you have the diploma from and the date you received it. Or if you just have or will have a high school equivalency, you will select the second option. Or if you will not be receiving a high school diploma or equivalency, you will select the third option. For international students, you will be asked if you have attended a high school outside the US, and if so, they'll be asking you to provide your academic performance, your high school GPA, standing percentages, and the name of the degree or diploma that you received. For colleges attended, you'll have to add all the colleges that you have attended. So it would be Mission College and any other college you have attended as well. This will be a time where you will also need to put in your ADT major and degree completion date. So if you complete it or going to be completed an ADT, you will select, which ADT and then when you're going to be receiving it. Again, you can add another degree if you're going to get a second degree. If you need to add more than just one college, you would then continue to add the additional colleges you have attended. Then it's time to complete your coursework, the classes you have been taken. You can start with the blue button to be able to add your classes. And you start by adding semester at a time. For your college coursework, really what you're doing is you're putting literally everything that's in your transcript. So all coursework has to be submitted by term. When entering the individual courses, you can start with the course title, and you can the information will auto-populate. You will start to see selections from the different courses, and it'll auto-populate. You will have to put in the subject and also your grade. All CSU transferable courses, make sure that they have a checkbox in the transferable box, regardless of the grades you've entered. Non-transferable courses will need to be entered manually exactly as they appear in your transcript. For repeated grades, if a course was repeated for a better grade, then you would mark the grade of the first attempt as an RP, and then you would mark the grade for the final attempt as it appears in your transcript. If the repeat is in progress, then the original grade needs to be reported. For academic renewal, you can enter academic renewal courses with basically an AR as a grade. All courses have to be submitted. So even courses you believe are not transferable have to still be put in. Courses that you don't want credit for, you still have to put them in. Even if there are courses that you don't believe are reflective of your current academic abilities because they were taken so long ago, you still have to put them in. Courses that you withdrew from, any withdrawals have to be put in. So if you notice, again, there's a W, there's Math C, Intermediate Algebra. It does not transfer, but I still have to put it in. Any missing information may be viewed as falsification and can result in cancellation of your application. So make sure you just basically put in everything that you see in your transcript. For foreign colleges, you only need to report institutions you have attended. You don't need to enter transcripts information for foreign colleges. For those of you that took AP, IB, or CLEP exams, you're going to enter the credit awarded as coursework on the first term of attendance. Under course code, you're going to put the test and abbreviated subject, for example, AP language exam. Under course title, you will put the full subject description starting with the test type. Under subject, you're going to put test credit / no subject. Under credits, you're going to enter the credits awarded by the transfer institution. Under grade, you will simply put CR, and you just have to make sure to check the transferable box. You're going to also need to report the test credit in the standardized test section as well. If your transcript entry is not complete, just make sure you select no, and then you save your transcript, and you can come back and return to this and add the rest of your courses later. If your transcript entry is complete, then you will select yes, and you will save your transcript. If you decide to edit at some point your courses, then you will just come back and make the additions, and then make sure you save your transcript again. You will have an opportunity to calculate your transfer GPA. When you do so, you'll be able to see what your transfer GPA is. In terms of your general education, you're going to be asked about the Golden 4 courses. So you will be able to select based on the courses you have entered. So oral communication will be like Communications 1 or 20. Written communication will be like English 1A. Critical thinking will be like English 1B, 1C. For math, it'd be like statistics, anything that is transferable. For lower division transfers, you do need to make sure you have at least your written communication and your math completed. If you have, again, your standardized tests, you'll be able to add them here. If not, you'll be able to just say, I'm not adding, and you can just continue with the application. Now you just have to complete the remaining of the quadrants that are left. So if you haven't completed anything in the personal information, you'll be able to complete it. The supporting information is where the Educational Opportunity Program, EOP, information is at. So if you indicate you will apply, you'll be able to complete that there. For the program materials, some programs have information that need to be read or respond to. So if you need to complete any of that, you must complete it in order to submit the application. When you're ready to submit, if everything is green, you're good to go. You'll be able to then select Submit Application. Make sure before you submit it that you check your campuses, programs, and your total fees, the number of applicants that you're going to be submitting. Make sure everything is accurate before you hit the Submit button. You will get a warning if there's anything missing, so make sure you address that in order to submit your application. There is a place to check if you have a fee waiver. You'll be able to know if you were eligible for the fee waiver. And again, you can get a fee waiver up to 4 campuses. If you're not eligible, it'll tell you that. And there is a link to find out and get more information of why you didn't qualify. For payment, you'll be able to then select the payment option that you want. Again, the fee waiver pays up to 4. But if you're applying for more than 4, then you will have to pay for the remaining applications. Some reminders, make sure you check your email regularly for any updates. This is the way the CSU is going to communicate with you. Make sure you respond to any requests that the campus makes of you and that you do that as soon as possible. If your program requires a supplemental application, then the campus will notify you. Make sure you complete that as well. Academic update. Usually in January, for fall applicants, you will be asked to update your grades for any in-progress or planned courses for the fall term, so make sure you do that as well. If you need any assistance, please know that you can come to the Counseling or Transfer Center. You are welcome to make an appointment with one of the counselors through our counseling website. We also will be doing some assistance with helping with the CSU application. So make sure you check out our Mission College counseling website. You can also check out the transfer webpage as well, and you can also check the events calendar for information.